Hello, Transformer 1 fans. This is Speedball for you guys. Today I have for you from the brand Yolopark. I have for you the new AMK series cog-less and cogged versions of Orion Pax's model kit. Yes, these are model kits, and if your next question you might ask me is, can you transform these two? No. Just as many other models I have built and such from Transformers, I can definitely say for a fact you cannot transform these at all. Plus, to be fair, if you happen to have at least seen the trailers or anything on the term cogless, well, you can't transform a bot that literally cannot transform. So, I mean, if that answers your question, I hope that might help. All right, but as you can see, friends, yes, we are looking at both scale versions from Yolopark's and AMK series, and yes, these are a lot of fun to play around with, and yes, I have enjoyed the build completely for these two, and the others I have on my shelf right now. But today we are looking, of course, at Orion. And really quick, because I've been asked before, for this is Yolopark's pre-order exclusive TF1 Orion Pax acrylic stand, which you can only unfortunately get through their pre-order series. Which, yeah. But I do have some good news. If you are still looking for an acrylic stand by chance of any TF1 stuff, Yolopark just recently announced that they have just made a new acrylic stand piece you can purchase with any of their TF1 models, I believe. And if you purchase, I believe, their new tin boxed versions, which that was new to me when I heard about that. But yeah, if you were wondering of this at all. All right, now onto the point of the video. As you can see, this is a much smaller version of our big version here. And yes, even for his size, Orion Pax here is really nice. I do love the detailing throughout the whole kits from both of them. And the articulation on these two are fun as heck to play with. And for the price, I can't complain. I mean, literally, this version alone is only 15 bucks. I mean, that's not a bad price, honestly, for Transformers models. I mean, hell, I've seen a number of the movie toys that are out now, like 20 or more. So yeah, for 15 bucks, I'm not going to complain. Plus, to be fair as well, Hasbro hasn't even announced an actual versions of any of the cogless Autobots characters. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to complain. So real quick, why don't we go into some articulation with our cogless Orion first? If you're wondering, yes, he's got full ball jointed 360 capability. His elbow can go that far with no problem. Double joint right there. And his arm here can swivel so much with the armor in the way, but if you remove that, you can, of course, go all the way around if you want. His hand is fully ball jointed with additional hands, which I will show in a few minutes. And he has a shoulder joint, so you can go about that far with no problems. His neck, full ball joint once more, can go about that far with no issue. His waist can go full 360 without anything blocking it. His legs can go about that far at first, but you can adjust the side armor here, move it, and there you go. A full good pose with it and a good kick to any Darkwings you may encounter. And you can, of course, bend his knee about that far, and with, of course, a bend, you can go that far. And for his foot, full ball joint, so you can spin it all the way around if you want, up and down with no problems there, and such like that. Oh, and he does have a thigh motion right here, but it can get a little tight, but really other than that, no problem. Now, I do must mention is that with the side armor here, if you do pull it out too much, you can pop the back here off, which I may have done once or twice, but no issue. You can pop it right back in, just to mention, just in case. And now, real quick, let's take a look at our cogged Orion Pax in his very big scale version to his cogless version, which a fun fact I have found out, or at least I've heard, is that the reason why our cogless and cogged versions of Orion here are so different in size is, from what I've heard, Yolopark wanted to design these two to be as screen accurate as possible, not just in details, but in size. So very much they're saying that the cogless versions were that small in a sense to their cogged versions once they obtained them, which I hope you knew about before I just mentioned. But yes, as you can see, his bigger version looks really nicely accurate, detail-wise, color-wise, everything. It just looks so screen accurate. I love it. And for articulation, once again, full 360. He has a joint in the shoulder there, so you can go all around like that. His arm can go all the way up like that with no problem. And the shoulder armor actually has parts that move out when you do it, and you can push back in with no problem. He can have a full 360 turn right here. His hand and wrist can go that far, that way with no issue. And his hand, unlike opposite of his coggle version, actually the ball joint's on the wrist to the hand itself. Even though he does, of course, have other hands, which I will, of course, show in a second. And the armor here actually can move up and down. So that's interesting. I didn't even realize that until I started playing with him. As you just saw, you can go like this with him with no problem. he can go 360 around, though he does bump into his own armor, so yeah, just to keep him in that. Though you can, of course, move the armor out of the way if you wish, because it's on a ball joint in the back, and such like that, with no problems, and such. And he does have a crunch right here, so he can definitely say, you, hey, if you want. And just like his other version, he does have a ball jointed leg, so you can go so far without the armor bumping, so far that way, and you can bend his leg all the way back like that with no problem. And as for his feet, you have a good amount of articulation there, and a toe bend from what I remember playing with, so you can stub his toe if you want, just saying. And for his head, he does have full motion with no problem, up and down, hey, how you doing, and so forth like that, and such. So yes, both have a good amount of articulation, detailing, and so forth, which is a lot of fun with these two alone. I do enjoy it very much. Now, quickly, let's go on to accessories. And for our big Orion, he does have several open hands, closed hands, as you see there, his classic pointing hands, though I also call him the special beam cannon finger pose, just for fun. And he does come with one trigger hand to hold his Cybertronian rifle with, which I do like. It's, you know, it's just common. It's a generic rifle for the movie and such, and it looks really nice. And you can hold it pretty well with this hand with no problem. Though I'm not gonna lie, I sort of wish he had a more Optimus, style weapon. But yeah, I'm fine with this. But then again, there's a reason why he hasn't gotten that yet, and I'll explain in 1 second. But first, let's go on to our little Orion's accessories, which actually he has more of. Surprising. One is, as you might have seen on the box art, he comes with the very fun booster jetpack. And yes, if you're wondering how do you attach it, very easily, you just pop that off with no worries, and you just plug it right into his back like such. And now he's ready for, I don't know, racing some people and so forth. So yeah, he looks really cool with that jetpack. It's awesome. I love it. I'm sure D16 probably won't like it, but yeah. But other than that, you will of course get a number of hands as well. As you see with him on, he's got his holding hand style. You got double the pointing finger style hands. And he has just standard open hands like this, which is awesome. And of course, the biggest thing he comes with, in a sense, is the most special part of him, so to speak, is an actual cog. Yes, you actually get a cog with him. That is so cool. I love it. It's just a fun little accessory, but it's so screen accurate. I love it. And if you were wondering, can you, store it in him? Well, technically you could remove the armor, but, and keep it in there, but not all of the cogless versions can do that. So yeah, but it is still pretty cool to have with. But there is a fun feature I can show you guys that only the cogged version of Orion here has, and with the assistance of my part separator, because I don't want to damage anything, you can pop off his front here, and well, let's put it this way, he's holding something of great importance with him. As you can see, leadership worthy importance, if you catch my drift. It is so nice to have that in there, and that was in there before I even built this guy, so yeah. That is so cool and easy to just pop back on and such like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for accessories, guys. And my final thoughts, honestly, with these two, I definitely like them a lot. They're fun to play with, affordable, very movie accurate. So yes, do I recommend the Orion Pax cogless and cogged versions? Absolutely. I hope you'll consider checking these out, guys, because there's another good reason why you might want to pick these two up, and it's actually on the back of the box arts, I believe. Let me check. Yep. As you can see here, this shows the entire scale lineup between the cogless and cogged versions. But if you notice here in the corner, we have another version to check out, and that is, and now it's been confirmed and already shown off, the Yolopark's AMK Pro Final Form Megatron and Optimus Prime from TF1. Yes, we are getting these two, and I've already seen the prototype versions online from the recent hobby event, and it looks so cool, and I can't wait to have these two because it will complete the so forth evolution of Orion Pax into the great leader Optimus Prime. So yes, I definitely hope you will check these two out. Now, real quick, of course, you're probably wondering about size comparison, so let's do that real quick. If you happen to wonder for Orion here, well, we'll test his good buddy D16. As you can see, this D16 is just a bit taller than his good buddy here, but yeah, that's fine because they're friends. They're not supposed to be giants, right? Okay, who else? Now, if you were wondering, what does he line up with other Transformer toy lines by chance? Well, it just so happens I have for you the AMK's mini G1 Optimus Prime to show you because, as you can see, the cog-less to AMK Mini, Optimus, and Orion here are almost very close in height. They're just a few inches off from one another. So if you were wondering, how big Orion here was, so you know. And as for our big Orion, he of course lines up pretty well with his good buddy slash soon to be mortal enemy D16 cogged version, of course, which look great together, I must mention. And of course, now unfortunately, I do not have the Pro AMK G1 Optimus to show you guys, but I do happen to have from the previous movie my Rise of the Beast Yoloparks Optimus Prime. And as you can see, even though they're from different movies, they do look nice together. And surprisingly enough, my Optimus here is just a bit taller than Orion, so that was a little surprising, but it's nice to see them like this together. It's really cool to see Cybertronian to Earth version. It's really nice. I like it. And such like that. So yes, that is it for today, my friends. I hope you've seen TF1. I hope you'll consider checking out TF1 or their toys. And I hope you'll consider checking out Yolopark's AMK series of these two and more, because I have good news as well. As I mentioned already about the Pro Series versions I mentioned, well, we also have good news because AMK is getting a lot more kits, my friends, because the recent Wonderfest has revealed a large number of new kits coming, and I hope you will check them out if you can or if you wish. So yes, that is it for today. I thank you always for coming. I hope you're all enjoying your hobby, and I hope to see you next time.